Can you talk a little bit about just the level of hard work that is necessary to be successful? Because there's our current culture has got a lot of passion, right? You got to follow your passion, you'll find the success. But sometimes within that gap is like there's real hard work that needs to be done. So as someone who has actually done that and become a person of value in business, can you talk a little bit about that?
This is probably an answer that many of your listeners probably don't want to hear because they sadly may not want to hear the truth, the facts. But if you really want to be financially free, if you really want to have the ability to master money and print money and not have that as a factor of decision in your life, it takes an overwhelming a ton of time, a lot of work. Was it 10,000 hours or 10 years? And for me, I wish I could say I followed my passion. I didn't follow my passion. I just looked for a job. I looked for someone who's going to pay my bills in the next couple of weeks because my military paycheck was going to expire. Because I was getting paid for 8 years, first and the 15th, first and the 15th. I was programmed first and the 15th. No matter how hard I worked, or how least I worked, I get the same paycheck every first and the 15th, first and 15th. But once I got out into the next chapter of my life, in my transition from the military to full-time civilian, and once I really started learning my craft, and I said, you know what, I can really make $50,000 a year. And in my context, I'm making $20,000 a year. I can really double my income if I really learn the insurance industry. Fast forward 20 years, Patrick talks about the 20-20-20 plan. For the first 20 years of your life, no big mistakes, right? No big mistakes. Make sure you choose the right business partner. You choose the right relationship. Because what's the worst thing going to happen? What do we know about in their 20s? And apologize for the graphic nature of what I'm about to say. But in your 20s, it's freaking groggy sex, right? Groggy. We don't think, oh, I love her. I love him. You don't know squat. You're just getting sex, right? Right? And your values and principles really haven't been established or expressed quite yet. And then to compound the fact that you don't got your money right, you got to deal with the relationship. Then you got to raise a baby, right? And by the way, I'm speaking this from experience. Why? Because I spent my entire 30s repaying the mistakes in my 20s. See, that's why I want to make a difference. Because I can't tell. I just got an Instagram message, a young man, 24 years old, rocky relationship, barely can see my kid, my career's on the fritz, I don't know what to do. That was me. That was me. And of course, I'm going to give this kid a call.
Right.
Now it's up to him to do something about it. It's up to him to say, I have changed. It's up to him to associate with the right people that's going to elevate him to the next level. But the first 20 years, it's just go ahead, make no big mistakes. The next 20 years, go make a ton of money. Go make a ton of money. The next 20 years, major contribution back to society. We're talking about major philanthropic movements, major charitable contributions. Maybe that's the time for you to run as a politician to create policy change. Maybe it's the time for you to go back to law school and fight for people and advocate for people in court. There's stages, there's levels to this game, and it's always knowing your next moves. But the first thing in terms of getting the work ethic necessary to make no mistakes, to make your money, that for a lot of people they miss out on.